Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Lady Jane's Historical Clothing. This afternoon, I'm going to be dressing the mannequin in a Tudor outfit, roughly from the date of 1536. Now, this outfit I made about 4 years ago when I went for a sleepover at Hampton Court, and I wanted it to be as sort of authentic as. But I wanted it to have that twist of theatrical as well. So although it's not 100% authentic, the pattern is, but just some of the fabrics are not. So I'm going to start, as you can see, we've got the shift here on the mannequin already. Now this embroidery around the neck edge, everything is done by hand. And this is taken from a portrait of Anne Boleyn that I found at Hever Castle. I saw at Hever Castle, taking a photograph of it. So that's my interpretation of that embroidery that I saw on that. Now the first thing we're going to put on over the top of that is the petticoat. Now this is made of taffeta, and the bodice is lined with linen and the skirt is lined with wool. Now the patterns for this came from the Tudor tailor. So this is a very minimum bodice, so we're not adding bulk to the body part of the dress. Just get our sleeves out. So we're sitting this quite wide on the shoulders here, so it can't be seen. And I'm just doing it up with a lace at the waist. So there you go. Now that's quite a stiff petticoat, so that'll help to take the weight of the skirts as we add the layers to them there. So taffeta lined with linen, and then the skirt is lined with wool. Helps it keep its shape. Now the next layer that we put on is the kirtle. Now this I made side lacing because I had to get into this myself on my own. With no help, so I've made it side lacing, so it laces up on both sides. Now on the top of this, as you can see, it is boned, and it's boned with reed, pieces of reed, and then the decoration is added around the neck. Now you can see at the front of this here, front panel is the fancy outside fabric, but at the back we've just got a band around the bottom of the same fabric, and the rest is linen. Now this is all lined with linen as well. So it's quite heavy. So now I'm just going to pop this over her head. There's no train on the back of this. So just pop that over the top there. Again, this pattern was taken from the Tudor tailor book. Fantastic resource. I refer to. Now I'm just going to pull the shift up because the shift should show just over the top of there. Okay, pull the sleeves out, and now I'm going to lace. Now this on the side seams here is spiral laced. As I say, I had to get into this on my own, so I needed to be able to do this myself. Wait for a moment. Now, before I tighten this side up, I want to do the other side up as well, so it's nice and even. You don't want a big gap one side and not the other side. So on the front of this panel, we have about 300 pearls, which are all individually hand sewn on. This dress altogether took around about 300 hours to complete. So it actually fits this mannequin quite well. So pull that one and pull the other side up as well. Make sure that's sitting on the lap. Now I'm just going to tie these around the back out of the way. So there we have it, our second layer, the kirtle. Again, this is brocade on the front, and the front is lined, the whole thing is lined with linen, but also the front panel has got an extra layer of wool in between as well. Again, to make that sit nice and flat under the gown, the overgown. So we've got the shift showing a little bit across the top with the embroidery. And this is plain, and the only thing you're going to see when I put the overgown on is this little bit across the top here. So now we go to the heavy piece. Now this is quite a heavy skirt. Now you can see on the inside we've got very deep pleats here. Now, again, because I was getting on in this myself, I couldn't arrange the pleats. So I've done like a swing tack to hold these pleats together. So when I put it on, they sit nice and flat at the back. So I'm just going to put this around the back. Now I'm going to have to pin this in place because it's heavy and it will slip off the shoulders. Pin there for now. Obviously, when you're putting this on yourself, your arms are in it, so you can hold it. It holds better. Put crown back there. I'm just going to tuck the sleeves down the sleeves of the gown. Oops. There we go. Okay, now we're going to lace the front of this gown up. So this lace is across the front here. So it's just spiral laced from the bottom to the top. Now there's no boning in this. The only boning there is just a small piece down the front, just to support the lacing at the front. As you can imagine, getting into this on my own was no small task. I would highly recommend going for one of the Hampton Court sleepovers if ever you get the opportunity. You get to dine in Queen Elizabeth I's kitchen, you get entertained in the Great Hall, and you get to sleep in the Long Gallery overnight. Okay, we're just going to pull this up tight now so it meets at the front. And I'm just going to feed that one through the top a couple of extra times just to stop it from coming undone while it's being worn. Just tuck that down the front. So there you go. You can see that. Now we want to cover this panel up. So we have a panel here. Now this normally would be pinned on. But as I've said, because I was getting this on my own, I put hooks and bars on this side. It just shows that you can actually get dressed into something this fancy on your own. So I'm just going to hook these over. Now I added this lovely embroidery down the front here in gold. I think it just sort of finishes that edges off really nicely. Just pull that so it sits flat. So you can still see all the decoration around the neck. Now the next thing we're going to do is to put on the sleeves. Now these were false sleeves, so these could be changed. So I'm just going to fold this up onto the shoulder because inside the sleeve, I've got two tapes. And I've got two tapes on here. So these are just tied in on here. Now again, these are covered with the pearls that I've added to the pattern. And also on the cuffs of these is all hand embroidered with black work. Now there's roughly about 30 metres of fabric altogether in this gown. So there we go. That's your sleeve coming here. We've got extra pearl details on the cuff, on the bottom of the sleeve there, with the mock shirt shift coming out from underneath there. So just leave that one there. I'll just tie on the other side. So there you have it. There's the sleeves hanging nicely there. Now just one more thing to go on. Okay. Now this fur is obviously fake fur. Just for the car. Quite often that you'll see in portraits that there wouldn't be fur here. There'd be like a brocade or a fancy fabric or something to match this. But as I say, I wanted to be a little bit theatrical for this event, so I put on the white fur on there. Now the last thing is the French hood, and this has the silk veil on the back. Now altogether on here, there's somewhere in the region of about 600 to 700 pearls. I haven't actually counted them. And as I say, around about 30 meters of fabric. And I'm just going to pop a pin here to hold this in place. And around about 300 hours to make. And altogether, when it's on, it weighs just under 3 stone. So you can imagine it's quite a weight to be having on you for a whole day. So there you have it. Some of you may have already seen this at the markets before. It's always been my centerpiece on my stall. But now you can see how it's all put together with all the layers. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it round so you can see the back with the train. I'm just going to move her over a little bit as well. Just don't fall over. So there we have it. You see the deep pleats at the back. They're all sitting beautifully. And I'm just going to go around to the camera and just show you the whole length of the train. Sorry, avoid the table. So there you have it. So there's the Tudor gown from about 1536. And I will add the picture of me wearing it from Hampton Court onto this post later, so you can see what it actually looks like on. So thank you for watching this afternoon, and look out during the week. I'll try to do another video for you. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.